What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome back to my channel for another segment of Infinite Cringe. Today, we're going to be talking about Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's in the news again, and for all the wrong reasons. And so is The Witcher, and for all the wrong reasons. Yep, because season 3 of The Witcher is going to be dropping soon, and some rumors have been coming out again about how Lauren Hissrich was really annoyed about working with Henry Cavill originally when he was trying out for the role. So the article here is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. It reads, Henry Cavill called annoying by The Witcher showrunner. Was he a problem for the show? Henry Cavill is often lauded for his intense, almost fanboy-esque dedication to the Witcher books and video games. In fact, this is one of the many things that endears him to the fans and turns them into fanboys and fangirls, according to Fandom Wire. Though the series' showrunner Lauren Hissrich did not find his enthusiasm endearing at all. In fact, she found it really annoying. Now, you know what I find really annoying? Lauren Hissrich and her BS and all the things that have come out since Witcher has been released, and the fact that she lied to the fans, including Henry. She told us that it was going to be centered around the lore. It wasn't. It became a show centered around intersectional feminism, identity politics, and everything else except for focusing on the lore and the Witcher, who is a white male. Shocker. I know, shocker. Even though I know a lot of people argue that the Witcher story is about mainly Ciri and Yennefer, Ciri being the main protagonist of the Witcher. But even in the books, the writer portrayed everything through the eyes of Geralt. And of course, a lot of people, including myself, are huge fans of the video game. And the video game is what introduced a lot of people to the Witcher lore. And that's what I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with the games. And when the moment that I saw Henry Cavill as the Witcher, I was like, he is it. Like that, he is Geralt. There is no ifs and buts. Just like he embodied Superman, he also embodied Geralt of Rivia. There was no one better. There could have been no one better. And this article goes into that a little bit more. So let's keep reading. I know, I guess to Henry Cavill, annoying, impossible. I know. That's what I'm like. I'm like, what is this? What is Lauren saying right now? This is so annoying. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. How could such a genuine, handsome, talented, professional, and passionate actor be annoying? Well, when it comes to Henry Cavill and The Witcher, it's actually kind of true. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, it is not. And I will explain to you why. So the article goes on. Apparently, Henry Cavill heard about the Witcher video game being turned into a series in the very early stages. Being a huge fan of this game, in real life, the Man of Steel actor felt that he just could not miss out on the chance to play this role. No one knew more about a character of Geralt than he did, and no one could connect more than he could to the character. He was sure of it, and he was right. He was absolutely right about that. So Henry Cavill pushed his agents to set up a meeting with Lauren Hissrich about The Witcher. He wanted the chance to convince her that he was the perfect Geralt because, well, he kind of was. Yep, he was. The only problem is Hissrich wasn't ready to audition anyone for the role yet. She turned down the meeting with him because she hadn't even written the script for the show and thusly was not ready to start casting. So what? So what? You get hit up by one of the most handsome and most dedicated people acting-wise out there in the industry, and you're like, you know what? Well, don't call us. We'll call you. Don't, you know what? We're not ready to cast yet, Henry. Like, don't call us. We'll call you. That's the kind of attitude she had about it. If somebody came to a job and was super excited and super enthusiastic about getting that job, would you not hire that person? I would, because I'd be like, this person's really into this job. They really seem to want it. They really seem to want it more than everybody else. That's not a bad thing. Oh, they seem to know everything about this job. That's not a bad thing. But Henry Cavill didn't give up on The Witcher. He kept nudging his agents to keep nudging her to meet him until she finally relented. Quote, He was really annoying, she said, and she apparently couldn't see any other way to get him to let it go other than to sit down and tell him the truth. The show is not greenlit. There is nothing. Thank you. Now I have to go write the show. Don't call us. We'll call you. The ego on this woman. Over the next few months, Hissrich sat down and wrote out the script for the series, and Henry Cavill wondered if his dreams of playing The Witcher were over. In Hissrich's opinion, they were, until she auditioned a whopping 206 other actors for the role and continued working on the scripts. The more she wrote and the more she saw of these other actors, the more convinced she was that Henry Cavill was the only choice for the role. Really? You had to sit through 206 people in order to figure out that Henry was the one? That many people? I mean, come on. No other actor who auditioned knew the source material like Henry did. In short, Henry Cavill was The Witcher. No shit. Oh my god. So Henry Cavill was hired and became The Witcher on screen. Although he has now departed the series, reportedly based on the writer's refusal to remain faithful to the books and games it is based on. He gave his dream role everything he had, and he trained in the sword fighting so that he could do the action scenes without a stunt double. God, this guy was so passionate. He got into a peak physical shape. Yeah, he did. And he played the character as close to the video game version as possible. Yeah, he did. And it was glorious. It was glorious. And I'm going to seriously miss Henry Cavill as The Witcher. And no, I won't be watching The Witcher season 3 because it's just going to be too painful to think about how amazing Henry Cavill was as The Witcher and how just everything went down. It's just going to be way too painful. Henry Cavill even admitted to himself in another interview that he annoyed his agents about getting a Witcher role, but that's all water under the bridge now. He was obviously the perfect choice to play Geralt. Who cares if he was kind of a pain in the neck, convincing everyone else of that fact. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's the thing. And he loved what he did, and he loved his job. There's nothing wrong with that. If I had a project and somebody was like on board and just wanted to go and gung-ho about it, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, that's such a turnoff. Like, oh my God, you're so annoying. Let me go try out 200 other people before I get back to you. There's more news because after all of the stuff that was said about season 3, because we were promises were made by Lauren Hissrich. And actually, I kind of went over that through a video of mine. Just check out that video because I actually had exchanges on Twitter with Lauren Hissrich. I will link it in the description as well as, I guess, up here. Check it out. Check it out. This is another bit of news that dropped about The Witcher. And it says, The Witcher Season 3 may stray further from the lore despite previous promises. Shocker. Shocker. And basically the reason that Henry Cavill left. I mean, this has been coming down the pipeline for a long time that Henry Cavill was not happy about what was going on with the lore. And we have been hearing about this for a long time now. And here is yet another article that is confirming that. The fan base surrounding Andrzej Sapkowski's novels have speculated whether season 3 of the Netflix's Witcher will continue to deviate from the novels, despite assurances from showrunner Lauren Hissrich, VFX supervisor Sebastian Frankauer, I hope I'm saying that right, and producer Graham Marshall recently appeared to contradict her, hinting at the introduction of elements never before seen in the lore. Wow. Speaking to Screen Rant, Marshall discussed what the VFX team knows about the series' future while working on season 4 has yet to begin. The producer stated, with season 3, we're in the throes of delivering the final couple of episodes on that. And it's super cool. I don't think it's anything anyone's read or seen before in Witcher lore. So I think it's going to be exciting. Isn't it exciting, guys? We're going to destroy the IP you love. It's so cool. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited that Henry Cavill decided to leave because we decided to do different things with the lore you love? It's so great. Hissrich previously assured audiences that season 3 of The Witcher would adhere to the source material more closely than previous seasons. She explained, season 3 to me is the closest thing that we've done as one-to-one adaptation of the books. Obviously, we can't do every page, but Time of Contempt gave us so many big action events, plot points, defining character moments. There's so much to do that we were able to stick really, really closely with the books. Aw, gee, thanks, Lauren. But apparently that's all bullshit. So just to continue on with why Henry left, this article states, the second major piece of news was claimed made by former series writer Beau DeMayo, who suggested that there were members of the writer's room on The Witcher that actively disliked and mocked the source material. It should be noted that Hissrich dismissed these claims, encouraging fans to not believe every claim they hear surrounding the show, and stating outright, this particular thing is not a fact. Well, Lauren, I think it's perfectly clear that you are someone who has way too much of an ego and way too much of an agenda to be in charge of something like The Witcher. Unfortunately for us fans, you were placed in charge of it. And I was really hoping that through our exchange that you were able to expand and be able to learn from constructive criticism and make a better show. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. And well, here we are. I'm not going to be watching The Witcher Season 3. Are you going to be watching The Witcher Season 3? Let me know in the comments down below if you're even interested anymore in that property. Are you going to be watching Season 3? Are you going to be watching Season 4? Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and share the video far and wide. And until next time, I'm going to leave you with this amazing clip of Henry Cavill because he's amazing and I love him. Till next time, bye!
There's something really interesting with this character that I find fascinating, which is that he genuinely really does just want to do the right thing. But everywhere he goes, whether it's a new town or a new bar, people just kind of give him a hard time and they rag on him despite the fact that he has great intentions. I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.